I do remember the hype around Avatar, the first Avatar movie. Is like what 2009 that movie came out, and like I just remember like everyone in my school was talking about that movie. Like everyone wanted to go to Pandora. Everyone wanted to be a Navi. It was kind of crazy.
It was the first James Camron movie in a very long time, so it was super crazy.
I do remember liking the first Avatar movie. I think I was a kid still, and then I think I was just so into superhero movies at that point. I liked it, but also I was just like, eh, it wasn't anything special to me at the time.
Did I like the first Avatar movie? Yes, I did. I went to go see that movie 6 times in the movie theater. Was I looking forward to the second movie? Not really. No, I was not.
I can't really say I was looking forward to the sequel, honestly. Like I was interested, but like I said, I didn't really care for the first Avatar movie, so no, I wasn't really looking forward to the sequel at all.
It was just too long between the first one and the second one. I was just like, my hype just, when the first one first came out, my hype was still there. But then because it just took too long and too long, I was just like, I don't want to keep waiting.
I will say that I'm more interested in this third movie than I have been for the past Avatar movies. I've seen the trailer for this movie so many times at this point, and especially because this is the third one. It's been a while to curious to see what James Gunn does for a third movie. The sequel is always like, okay, let's see how you evolve on the ideas from the first one, and the third one is like, okay, you gotta really knock it out of the park. I feel like now, this isn't a trilogy, but I feel like the third movie in the franchise really kind of like those are definitely like the hit or miss kind of thing. I feel like I've seen plenty of third movies and franchises, and it's like they don't knock it out of the park. So I'm interested to see what James Cameron does with the third movie in his new franchise.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
All right. All right. So, what did you think of Avatar: Fire and Ash?
What did I think of Fire and Ash? I didn't really like it too much. There were some moments where I thought were okay, but it was really just it was a serious combination. That's all I could think about. It's just a serious combination of both the first two movies. And there are a lot of times I'm just like, okay, we're gonna have a cliffhanger right here, right? Is this gonna be a cliffhanger? Or is this gonna be a cliffhanger? It's just like, I don't know. It's just also like there's too many people in this movie. Like, who are these characters? I'm like, I don't know who you are. I mean, I know some of them were in the last movie, but I'm like, you're not important. Like,
Yeah.
why are you here?
Yeah.
And then like Giovanni, the actor's real name I think is Giovanni, the dude from the first movie, the corporate dude. All like,
Yeah.
they
I
brought
thought he
him
was. I
back.
thought he was dead.
I did too, but I forgot. I think they made him leave the planet. If I remember the end credit, like he was one of the people who were leaving. But I was like, they brought him back. I'm like,
All right.
yeah. So they brought him back, and it's just like you didn't really need him for this movie. He's just like you could have cut his character out, and it just would have been fine without him in it. But it's just like he didn't need to be there. This movie was just it just felt like the same beats from the first two movies just combined, and it was okay, but it was a beautiful spectacle, but in my head, but
So better than the second, worse than the second?
I would say in a way it might have been better than the second. I would say I do appreciate that Neytiri finally kind of got over her issue. like hey, your husband was human too. You do realize that, right?
Yeah.
Like, your children are part human. I get why she hates spiders so much, but it's like, that's not his fault. Like, you do realize you cannot blame that child for who his dad unfortunately was.
Yeah.
Like, you killed his dad technically. This is just a clone. Like, so you can't blame him. So I'm glad that she got over that. But then what pissed me off is like, Jake, your son has been ride or die for a while. You talk so much shit to your son, like in that second movie. It's like, are you kidding me? What the hell? But you gaslight your oldest son up, but you want to be like, oh, you're doing all this shit. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you know how you work. Like, come on, encourage your son. And now you're just like, oh, I need you beside me.
That line was crazy. Like, you've earned. What did he say?
Like, I don't know what it is. Like, you earned to be my wingman. Or something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
earned my trust. I was like,
excuse me?
The crazy line.
Excuse me.
That was
He's
crazy.
been trying to earn it for the longest time.
Are we supposed to like Jake Sully, bro?
That's why I'm just like, I don't know if I like you,
Yeah,
Jake.
Sora would never say that. All right.
Yeah, we got 2 more of these. That's actually insane to think about, because this feels like, does this not feel like the end? Does not feel like that ending felt like that's it, right? Like besides Homeboy, like I won't really get to the villain, but does that not feel like we got 2 more of these? Really? Like, what?
What else is he gonna do?
Cause like, don't get me wrong, I actually really like this. Like, I think this was better than the last one.
Yeah,
I was really into like every action. Well, so the action was really good. Like the sky battles. Like I'm like, this is like House of Dragon, Game of Thrones. This is like,
the sky battles is what should have been House of Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, like dragon on dragon, arrows flying, like all that was great. But then at the same time, I'm like, we're fighting this guy again, dude.
It's just dragon.
And like, we're gonna do this 2 more times. This was already like everybody, bro. And I'm like, there's 2 more of this. And I'm like, I can see where like all the race stuff. I love all the race stuff, like just the concepts of like his dad's a Navi, technically now. Like maybe he'll get that one chick pregnant. He's gonna have a brother that's like like the idea of like he's human, but he has the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the trailer, so that's not spoiler.
Oh, I didn't know that stuff.
But like what does that mean? And like, I'm wondering, like, you haven't read it, but there's a book, Superman book, All-Star Superman, where they kind of like, they go in this weird direction where like humans eventually become Kryptonians, because like our sun is eventually going to become a red sun, and like the cycle kind of repeats. I'm wondering if they're kind of doing that with the Navi. Like, is he gonna become blue eventually? The spider. You know, because the Navi are already like, is that because like people kind of criticize that with James Camron, like the Navi are not really, they're alien, but they're still kind of human-like. But I'm wondering if that's on purpose. Where like, are humans gonna start growing taller? Are they gonna, like, he already has the thing. Like, is he gonna grow taller? Is he gonna get blue? Like,
It wouldn't be surprising in the next couple of movies he does start getting some other added additions to his body.
because Jake's kids have 5 fingers. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like, yeah, I love all that race stuff, and like, yeah, fuck capitalism, you know what I mean? I hate capitalism. Fuck, was this long, man? Like,
It was really long.
I mean, we both didn't get any sleep, so like we were going after hours of sleep, but like even then it was like, fuck, dude, like like this felt like it should have been a cliffhanger. This felt like so many
should have
times.
ended several times.
Several times I was like, all right, cliffhanger, and I would have been fine with that.
Like when Jake got caught, I was like,
Cliffhanger.
right there.
Or even like when he's like, "Let's do this," I'm like, cliffhanger.
That walk with him and his
Yeah.
material.
And then
like,
Avatar,
ooh.
Fire and Ash. That's it.
Cliffhanger.
Next movie, we'll fucking take
Start
these guys
the
out.
fight.
But
Cliffhanger.
yeah, man, like I know people hate that. I know people would have hated that and be like, fuck that. I would have not liked
But
that.
sometimes some movies they can do that good,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have had the issue
But
with
like
it.
plenty of like Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, Mission Impossible, Spider-Man. Like that would have been fine. Like last movie, we had big battle. We had big battle.
Yeah.
We had big battle already.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first movie too well, but that had big battle too.
Yeah.
This got big battle.
Why do you sound like that?
And I don't know if I could do another big battle, bro.
That's the problem. It's like the beats they're kind of not lining up quite the same, but they are in my head. It's like some of the stuff, like the battles, is like you had a big battle, and it's like we have a big battle, and it's like you said, we have a big battle again. It's like all that is similar.
See, I'm also thinking about Lord of the Rings, and like, you know, like Two Towers was technically Escalation and Return of the King, but the problem is, right, there's two more of these. There's two more of these. But like, you have to put more big battles, because it's like, is it just going to be talking? You got to shorten that then.
Oh, and that his son just doing like the talking over the movie, like. I can understand what we're doing in these scenes. I don't need that. That irritated me a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't notice it that much until you pointed it out.
Oh,
I did notice it, but like it wasn't bothering me. But it did feel a little like, hey James, we're smart.
It was just like
real
to
quick,
Robot 2. It's like me and my dad, they're getting along. I was like, I can see that in this scene. He didn't eat him, so I'm assuming they're still good with each
also
other.
like, are they still speaking another language? Because I remember in the last movie he's saying like, they did the dumb like, I know the language so well, like if it sounds English.
Took a few years to get the language through my thick skull. But now when I hear it, might as well be English.
Yeah.
But like, there's no. So like, does the bad guy also know the language? Cause he does, but like also there's no like. There's no.
I
You get what I'm saying?
kind of thought that too. I was a little confused for a second. I was like, wait, so who is speaking what?
Yeah, there's no like, what did you say?
Yeah.
There was only that when like the other clan comes in. And
Yeah.
that's it. Like, why'd you fucking make a whole nother language?
Yeah, I think it is like obviously they didn't want to go through all of that, like speaking another language, so we understand it as English, but they're speaking to each other in that language. But it's like he should not have been able to learn that language that quick if he can't speak it.
Yeah.
It's like he should still be like you said, like what the hell are they just
Because
saying?
like
to
Jake has been doing this for a decade.
Yeah.
This dude just got.
We saw it in the
Like,
first
it's not like
movie.
he
He had
ingrained
to
Navi
learn
language.
it.
Yeah. And then like, I don't know. It's kind of just frustrating too, because like it's not like we don't have subtitled movies in theaters.
Yeah.
Godzilla, you know, plenty of animes. I'm like, yo, James, you created a whole nother language, and you're not using it. But yeah, I think I might watch the next one on Disney Plus. Fifth one though, I'll be back in the theaters for that one.
Like theater, Disney Plus. Theater, Disney Plus.
It's like, honestly, I'm like, I needed a pause, man. I needed to pause and go to the bathroom, pause and get a drink, get some snacks. I'm like, fuck, dude. Watching, I know I said I'm like, dang, I missed out. I feel like I missed out watching the second one in theaters. I'm like, no, you know what? It was fun watching that at home.
No, it was
laying
fun.
in the bed,
Yeah.
chilling.
You can pause whenever you want, take
Yeah.
a potty break whenever you want.
I needed a break. I needed an intermission.
Yes, that's what it was called. I said, what's that word that we use? Intermission. That's what we needed.
Yeah. Fourth one, I'll be back for the fifth one, I guess.
I can't. But, yeah, it was.
Good movie though. Alright, good.
All right, can I just say, Avatar 3 poster, it's garbage, right? I mean, I think all the posters for Avatar suck. Like, come on, James, do better. You have the most visually interesting franchise with the most boring posters in the world. They're just floating head posters. I know no one cares about this but me, but it was bugging me, all right? I hate these posters. I hate them. All right, so this is about a day after I just got done seeing Avatar, Fire and Ash. Sat with it, processed it, talked about it more with my sister, and Yeah, I just got more to say about it. There's gonna be more spoilers, getting more spoiler territory. But there was a couple more things that bothered me about it. And one thing that really bothered me is that I really don't understand what exactly the message of the movie that James Cameron was trying to portray, and particularly the whole like nature versus technology. That's the one of the big themes with Avatar is just nature versus technology, and and you have that with like the Na'vi. They obviously represent nature, right? And you got the big bag military, the government, they're the evil technology. But at the beginning of this movie, we start off with like Jake. This movie takes place. The movie takes place right after the last movie, but we start off with Jake and his family like gathering guns, and I assume either Jake hidden or he's finding more weapons to fight against the military. And there's a moment where he's talking to like the Water Tribe lady, and she's like, no guns. That's steel poisons us. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's the anti-gun, anti-technology message, right? But not really, because Drake, this whole movie is very pro technology. Like he uses guns the entire movie, and he's like converts his whole family. You have Jake. He's very pro military, and he converts his whole family. His son wants to use guns. Everyone's using comms. Like he's pretty much converted his family into being very pro technology. And so I was kind of confused about that, and especially with you have the Colonel who's back in this movie. He's still alive. He's the Colonel is basically like like an orc from Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War. He's like, Sully, you thought you killed me. He's back in this, but he joins forces with the Fire Tribe or Fire Nation Azula, and that's in this, the Fire Nation lady. He joins with her, and he gives her a bunch of guns, and they're super into it. They're like, oh, hell yeah, fuck yes, guns. We're super into this. He's showing them like flamethrowers and weapons, and they're super into this. So you think like, okay, the bad guys are using guns against us now. This isn't good. So, yeah, do you think this movie would be very like anti-technology, but you still have Jake who's using guns throughout this, and there's even a moment in this where like his son like is thinking about killing himself, and that kind of got to me. That triggered me a little bit. He doesn't, but even in that moment, like he's narrating the whole movie, and in that moment he puts the gun to his head and he says the same line. He says the same line that the Water Tribe lady says, where she's like, "Steel poisons us," and he puts the barrel to his head, but he doesn't pull the trigger. And I was like, okay, yeah, and he throws the gun away. And there's even a point in this movie where he's repairing the bow that Neytiri lost in the last movie, I think. And there's that whole story arc where he's repairing her bow, and he gives it to her. And I thought there was going to be a moment where like he gives it back to her instead. And I really want to talk about Neytiri too, I think. too, but like I just didn't really understand. I think that message is a little muddy, and a big part of that too is I just think Neytiri, she should be the main character of this franchise. Like it's kind of baffling that she isn't, to be honest, because she is so much more interesting than Jake Sully. Because what is Jake Sully's arc in this? Like his arc is just be a good dad, I guess, which is just his arc from the previous movie. Which is a lot of people have been calling this movie just Way of the Water Part 2.5, because it really did feel like a just kind of DLC extension of what we were already doing from the last movie. Like a lot of this, we kind of repeat a lot of the same talking points from the last movie. But yeah, going back to Neytiri, you could really just get rid of all the male characters in this movie, because the female characters are so much more interesting. And like there's this story arc with Neytiri, and there's some stuff I like in this, like some of the race stuff I do kind of like in this movie, and it is kind of interesting. But again, that's also muddied, and I think the big problem with it is just the kind of white savior storyline that James Cameron is telling. And I remember when the first movie came out, and I remember people were saying it's very white savior, and I didn't really understand that at the time because I was a kid at the time, so I didn't understand that concept. But man, is it really bad? Now that I'm older, it's really bad, especially in this movie where you have three male characters, three males who are just the movie's all about them, and the whole movie's just these white boys just hate being white, and they really just want to be this other race. They really want to be blue, and it's just very funny that this is the story James Cameron's telling, because that's what he did. That's what he did. He went to this other culture, and he got himself immersed in it, and he was very enamored with it. And I don't know, it's kind of gross that that's what this movie is. You have these three white boys who are just super into this other culture, because you have Jake, who, he abandoned his people to become a part of the Na'vi, and now you have the Colonel, who died and who is now a Na'vi, and he ends up falling in love with the Fire Nation lady, Azula, and he's in love with her now. And then you have Spider, who ends up becoming this weird Na'vi hybrid in this movie. Who he was already kind of acting like the Na'vi already, but now he is basically this half human Na'vi hybrid. So you just have these three white boys who are just like, man, fuck my culture. I want to be a part of this culture. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little gross a little bit. It also doesn't help that, like, none of these, why do they get to be this way? Why are these guys special? Because the plot says so. Like, Jake is special, and everyone listens to him, and everyone wants to follow him. And it's not because, like, he's Captain America or something. Like, he's just that inspirational. He has a way with words. No, people follow him because he can ride Big Bird. And why can he ride Big Bird? Because, like, that's the only reason. Like, there's literally a moment in this movie where, like, everyone's, like, rallying together. Everyone's like, we have to follow Jake. Jake, sets the war cry, and it's why? Because he can ride Big Bird. That's the only reason. And it's just kind of, and that was from the first movie, and it's just kind of frustrating. That's why he's special. It's like, no other Na'vi was able to do that, but Jake was able to do that. And I don't know, there's kind of this weird, like, fetish thing too kind of going on, where, like, the Colonel is enamored by the Fire Nation lady, and she's enamored with him, and they kind of, and it's like, I get what James is kind of doing. It's kind of like the opposite of you have this evil opposite with Jake and Neytiri, with the Colonel, and I can't remember her name. I wrote a whole, I've been working on a movie journal this year, this month actually, and Avatar, with the first, it started with the movie Eternal. I saw that movie in theaters, and then I rewatched the Mortal Kombat movie recently, and that was my second entry. And so my third entry, unintentionally, is the third Avatar movie, and I made a whole entry just for this new character, Varang, right? She was definitely the highlight of the movie, and I I don't really like the whole she's infatuated with him, because again, it's just like this weird, like, I don't know, kind of, it's this fetish thing too, because like then you have Spider, another white boy, who gets to hook up with another Na'vi, and it's Grace's character, right? The weird clone baby that's played by Sigourney Weaver. The weird clone baby that's played by Sigourney Weaver, and it's still weird that it's her playing this kid character, who, and like all these white boys get a Na'vi. Like it's so weird, and oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, like technically Grace is also another special white woman, special white person, because she is a weird clone baby, and she's like this reincarnation of their god. Why? I don't know. I guess because she cared more about the Na'vi culture than anyone else. She gets to be reincarnated as this god, and she's able to talk to their god, and she's special and can talk. She has special powers, and it's like, why? I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird that all these special characters are the white characters. like I find that very strange. And you think it would be like, it should be about Neytiri, like she should be the main character of this. This is her culture, like, and because another weird thing that the movie doesn't really go too much into, but this whole colonizer thing that it's kind of hard to gloss over, because a big part of this movie is like the Navi culture is changing. Like there's this, like it's almost interesting because you have this part of the movie where Natiri kind of hates where her life is right now. Like she has abandoned her family, like she's abandoning her culture a little bit. Her bow that belonged to her father was destroyed. She has these mixed babies going on, and so she kind of hates Jake a little bit. She kind of hates her kids. She hates Spider because he's the son of the colonel, and she hates him. She hates the humans, and like that's really interesting, and I really like all that. But also Jake is right too, and he's like, no, we can't kill Spider, and we also can't kill the colonel for some fucking reason, because he just keeps coming back. I don't know. The movie wants to have his cake and eat it too, where it's like diversity good, but also it's bad that the Navi culture is changing, but it's gonna change whether they like it or not, and also fuck the colonizers and kill all of them. I don't know. It's like I don't really understand what message James is trying to tell like that, because it's like we're supposed to be okay with the Navi like learning, like losing their culture, because like whether they like it or not, they're gonna lose it, because you have Natir and Jake with their mixed babies. You have the Colonel and Spider, who's now, because Spider's now this weird half human, half Navi creature, right? And so like, how's that work? So and now you have the Colonel who's hooked up with Azula, and they're probably gonna have mixed babies. So whether they like it or not, the Navi culture is gonna change. But also, fuck the colonizers, I guess, and kill all of them. Because there's a point in this movie too where they have to go to these elder gods basically and ask for their help. And there's a moment too where they're like, no, violence only begets violence. We can't, there has to be another way. And again, I was like, oh yeah, that, that there has to be another way. And I thought that was the message of the movie. But then Jake's son comes in and says, no, actually we have to fight, because they listen to him, because he's also special, because he's able to become best friends with this creature that was in the last movie. So they listen to him, so they do fight. So I just don't really get what James is trying to tell with this movie, and it's just weird because you have these characters who are inspired by Native American and African American cultures, but most of the cast are white people. Like we're following these white characters, and yeah, that's another thing too, because it's like I don't hate Avatar, right? I that's kind of the fun thing to do, is to shit on this franchise, and I understand that there is fans, and obviously there's fans because these movies make so much money, but I'm just not invested in these characters. I hate these characters, especially the kids. I hate the kids. I couldn't, like Spider in this movie. I'm sorry, he sucks. Like I can't stand these kids, and like Jake Sully, his character is Sam Worthington. I'm sorry, I love you, but Jake Sully's just not it. It should be about the women characters are just so much more interesting, and it should be about them. And I just couldn't get invested with the story. And it's like there's two more of these movies. Like everything about the ending to this movie just felt like it was a ending to a trilogy. Like, but there's two more of these, and I just can't imagine what else is there to really do. What else is there to explore? Is it really going to end with the Navi and the humans living together in harmony? Like, is that really where James is going to go with it? Because there's a moment in this movie where like I don't remember this was in the last movie or not. I haven't rewatched the last movie, but there's a moment where Jake gets captured and goes to like the human city, and they're all booing him like, yeah, we finally got Jake. And I'm just like, dude, does the rest of Earth know what's going on? Are they all down with the genocide? Are they down with the sickness? Because like it's one thing when you're just showing the military and it's like, yeah, fuck the military, fuck the government. But when you're showing the rest of the civilization of Earth and other humans, is like, are they all down with the genocide? So because it's going to be kind of hard to get the whole all the humans live together in harmony thing, because you already have the Colonel, who they're kind of in the process of redeeming this character because they just refuse to kill him for some reason. And I hope that's not where that direction is going, because I don't want these characters to get redeemed. Cause like you could, because I'm not gonna lie, the Colonel and Azula, they're fun in this movie. Them on screen is just so much fun. Like at the end of the movie when the Colonel walked out and he was covered head to toe, like decked out in the markings, and I thought that was so funny. I chuckled at that, and I kind of love their evil dynamic duo going on. This evil Team Rocket, right, against our heroes. But I feel like they keep we get another scene of him and Spider interacting, and I'm like, we did this already. We did this in the last movie. And I'm like, are we really still trying to redeem this character? Like, especially when like there's a moment in the end where he looks at Natira, and she kind of wants to kill him, and I'm just like, where are we going with this? And it's just like there's 2 more movies, and it's frustrating because I want to like these movies. I really do. And I understand a part of Avatar is kind of the vibe aspect of it, like just vibing with the action, just vibing with the visuals, just vibing with the characters, even though they are so basic. A YouTuber I really enjoy, who's also named Nathan Zed. Check out his channel. He makes great content, way better than mine. He's made multiple videos talking about Avatar and vibes when it comes to movies, and the Avatar franchise, I definitely think, is a vibe movie. They are just vibes, but it gets to the point where, for me, those vibes only take me so far, because a lot of this movie is action. Like, a lot of the action movie is really good, and while I was enjoying this roller coaster ride, a part of it kind of was starting to, like, just blend together, because it is just guns and bow and arrows and flying around and ships again. Like, and I'm like, we did this already. We did this in the last movie. We did this in the first movie. And it gets to the point where I'm like, man, I just don't care for any of these characters, and I wish I did, and I'm interested, I guess, in the lore, I guess, and I am interested in some things like the race stuff, but also I just like of what it means for the Na'vi world going forward, I guess. But the way James Cameron is telling the story with the cast that he's telling it with, I don't think was the right move. Alright, so this is a part of the show where I do the very annoying YouTuber thing that everyone loves, where I rewrite this movie. Now, I don't want to spend too much on this, but the simple rewrite I would have done is I would have killed Jake Sully in the last movie, honestly, because I really do think Natira should have been the main character. Instead of killing the son, or maybe you can kill both of them, kill the son and Jake, but I think they should have killed off Jake, because he is such a boring character, and have Natiri be in the forefront, because again, I think her story is just way more interesting, where her having to come to terms with, like, she kind of hates her family and hates the situation she's in, and like have like a parallel with her and the Colonel, because there is this kind of like fetish thing, like maybe she was only infatuated with Jake and she didn't really love him, and that's why she went with him. And because the Colonel kind of reminded me of the villain that's in One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio that came out this year. Great movie if you haven't seen that movie, because it's kind of the same kind of thing where, like, because he's a hypocrite.
You like black girls? I love them. I love them.
He hates the Na'vi and he wants to kill them and take over this planet, but he also ends up falling in love with Azula in this movie. So I thought that's interesting, right? And you can have a weird parallel with him where he hates the Na'vi and Natira hates the humans, but she fell in love with one and he fell in love with the Na'vi, and there's an interesting parallel right there. I think they could have told if she was the main character, because she, like, again, she's losing her culture because she has these mixed babies, and everyone's gonna have mixed babies, I guess, because also Spider and Grace's character fall in love, so everyone's got mixed babies, and she hates herself for doing that and leaving her family, and you could have her become more in one with nature, and you can still keep the storyline where she does, she did love Jake and her family and Spider. You can keep all that, I think. I just don't think it works with Jake as the main character. I just don't, unfortunately. I think he kind of holds the franchise back because he's such a boring character. He's just a boring main character. But yeah, that's what I would have done, especially because Zoe Saldana is killing it. She kills it in all these movies. She is an amazing, she really makes me think she is a Na'vi for real. Like, the way she acts, she steals every scene she's in. She's amazing. But, like, again, all the female characters are. But yeah, that's how I would have rewrote this movie. But yeah, I gave this movie a 3.5 on Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd if you don't. I'll link down below. It was really close to getting a 4. I really wanted to give it a 4, but again, I think what really holds it back is the characters. But yeah, that's all I have to say for Avatar 3: Way of the Water. 2.5. But no, Avatar, Fire and Ash. That's all I have to say. I don't know if I'll watch the next one in theaters. If I'm being honest, I'll maybe I'll come back for the fifth one because that'll be the fifth and final one. Um, but yeah, I've been really struggling with what movies I wanted to review. Like I haven't made a video review in a really long time, and I've been really struggling on what movies I wanted to make a video on. I've actually recorded and made scripts for a bunch of videos that I'll probably never release or anything like that. So this will probably be the last video I make of this year. Um, I do want to get to making more videos next year and putting out more content, and just a lot been going on this year. Just a lot of ups and downs, but and a lot of transitioning periods for me as well, and a transition of potentially getting a new job as a photographer. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully that goes through. But if it doesn't, I'll still be making videos here on YouTube. And if it does, I'll still be making videos here on YouTube because I love doing this. I love making videos for you guys. And I appreciate all the people who are subscribed to me and watching this video. Uh, and if you like this video, once again, let me know down in the comments down below. Like and subscribe for future videos. Once again, this is Infinite Repeat. I've been Nate. Stay up.